By the way, just before we start,
Have I played what? Sorry.
have you played eFootball 2020 yet?
No.
Please, for the love of God, don't.
It came up one day whenever I was playing FIFA. It's like, oh, it's ready to download. And I was like, right.
It's very bad. Like
It's free now, isn't it?
Yeah, but it is bad. I would rather keep the free. Hello. Jesus. We have we're joined by Weebles. They wobble, but they do not fall down.
My neck is.
His neck is there. Excellent. Hello and welcome back to the Poddington Cast. It's been a strong minute since we've done one of these, but then again, it's been busy, isn't it? Doing stuff. I'm joined by my usual cohort, comrade, and colleague. It's Keith. How are you, Keith?
Hello. I'm all right. I do have a neck.
I mean, you do currently appear like you're appearing in a hostage video currently. Right, is everything all right? Do you want to blink twice for say if you want us to come and rescue you? Oh, bugger! Right.
Fine. Just give them £2 million and they'll let me go.
I don't have £2, mate. Let alone €2 million. Your millions is on though. I can't even afford to do that.
It was nice to know you. Bye.
Oh, don't lie to me. I'm an awful person. Speaking of awful people.
Speaking of awful people, Mike Ashley has off.
Mike Ashley is gone, but argue it's the Saudis are in, and that's not ideal either.
Right, you know it's a bad state of affairs whenever you're happy that the Saudis are there and not Mike Ashley.
I'm not happy the Saudis are there. I'm really upset the Saudis are there.
Would you rather have Mike Ashley still there?
I'd rather have neither of them, preferably. But if I had to, I mean, they're both bad. But that's like saying, like getting a dig in the arm and having your arm cut off, or both equally as bad. It's just weird. I don't like it, and
there's a joke to be had in there about cutting things
off.
Oh
Jesus Christ!
An area but I'll not go there.
No, it shouldn't do that. What am I doing? Oh no. So I've made a video on this a couple of days ago. It'll be up floating around here somewhere. Click it, watch it. It's good. It's all right. It's fine. It's terrible. And I've given my kind of opinion on the whole thing. But as an outsider's perspective, Keith, what do you reckon quickly to the whole takeover?
Listen, I'm sitting here in a Rangers shirt. It was stuck with us for a while too. Just Mike Ashley away from anything to do with football is brilliant in my opinion. Man's a clown.
He is a clown, yes. But
to be honest, I think he's lucky you still have a football club for somebody to take over.
And he's made a profit as well, a hefty profit. I think he bought it for 100. What did I say? I researched it. Like 130 million. I think he bought it for. And he sold it for 305.
Well, I mean, but really, like, I mean, you can tell me better, obviously, but. Like the way I've been looking at it, what did he do apart from not give you money?
He tried to change the name of the stadium. That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
The fact that he got Wonga in as a principal sponsor, that was pretty bad. He released Jonas Gutierrez after he kept us in the league and came back from testicular cancer. That was pretty bad. Would
it be right in saying he signed Joe Linton and not the manager?
Yes.
Or not?
But I can't blame Joe Linton because I think he's hilarious. So I have nothing but good things to say about Joe Linton, apart from the fact that he's a striker that doesn't score goals. But anyway, that's besides the point. We've had plenty of those through the years. It's not just his fault. I'm a fan of the club. I'm not a fan of the ownership because it is dodgy AF. I mean, the whole point of they're saying that the PIF is separate from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, even though the chair of the PIF is the Crown Prince of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It's not. It's just a bit. Yes, The Rock, circa 1999. It's very sus. You're either The Rock or them two kids off that Cadbury's advert. You mind that with the weird eyebrows?
I don't actually know.
I'll stick a clip in. But basically, you've heard everyone's thoughts and opinions on the whole thing. The fact that Mike Ashley's gone is good. The fact that the Saudis are in is bad, I think. I think that's the overriding feeling about the whole thing. And it's a sentiment that I very much share, because it's just... No, it's... I mean, I don't...
A lot of your fans are happy because they're going, oh, the Saudis are in, we're going to get money. Might start winning things, but I'm going to get on to it. And wherever I put my notes there.
Professional man.
Professional, yes. I'll get on to it later, but I just because you've got money doesn't necessarily mean an awful lot.
Not at the minute, no. I wouldn't think, no. But how that money is going to get spent is, up to whomever, the higher ups, I suppose. But they will also decide the fate of the current manager, Steve Bruce, who, at time of recording, at 1934 on the 12th of October, is still currently in a job. If you want to give us a wee live update on Steve Bruce, it's been some time coming. To be fair, I think that any sort of takeover was going to look to bring in their own man.
He still has a job at the minute. Yes,
it's still there. I mean, they're going to bring in their own man anyway to win favour with the fans, and the fact that he's just not been, the fact we're sitting 19th without a win is just going to strengthen their case to get rid of him. So I don't think anyone's going to be unhappy to see the back of him.
Considering, he's had very little money to spend. I mean, the money that, now we mentioned Joel Linton. I mean, the money that you spent on Joel Linton could have been invested and maybe get 2 or 3 decent, squad players for that. And bless him, he's done, considering no offence, but considering the bad hand he's been dealt. Because you don't have it, you take out what St. Maximin, Callum Wilson can score goals. What's left in that squad? Almiron, he's all right.
We'll come on to that later on, because I have a list of that.
You know what I mean? What else is there? It's not...
Yeah. Oh, no, I totally understand. It's just Rafa had less money to spend, and he did all right, is all I'm saying. Admittedly...
Well, yeah, I'll give you that, okay.
But either way, it's as it stands currently, he is still in a job, and there are a number of candidates linked with the post. Frank Lampard apparently is one of the top runners to take the job, which I do not want, thank you very much. I had a look see who is currently sans job in the managerial market. Some names include Antonio Conte. I would love that, but that's not going to happen. Why would he move to Newcastle?
Allegri?
Massimo Allegri. No, he's back at Juve, I'm pretty sure. Valverde, Fonseca, Rudy Garcia. These are all lads who are available on a free, and then Graham Potter as well. His name's been bandied about, which would be fine, but it's not really the blockbuster name I assume the owners are looking for.
No.
So with that being said, who I would like to bring in personally, and I've built my signings for later on around having this man at the helm, so hopefully Lucien Favre, the former Borussia Dortmund and Nice boss. He left Dortmund in 2020 after quite a hefty reign. He was there for 896 days, and he won a DFB Pokal in that time, and led Dortmund to 2 consecutive runners-up spots in the Bundesliga.
He was one of the favourites the last time I checked the markets.
Yes, I would very much like that. The thing about Favre's teams are he favours a sort of dynamic, quick, attacking-minded football. That's where the ball would the ball and change of tempo alternate, which will be very difficult to implement in a limited Newcastle side, especially one that's kind of that's adapted to the rigid style of Steve Bruce for the last 2 years.
Just looking as we did do a live up-to-date Steve Bruce. Currently, Brendan Rodgers is the favourite to take over.
Why would he leave?
With popular betting site, which is also a TV company. Frank Lampard second favourite, Lucien Favre third. Conte 4th, and Roberto Martinez 5th.
Oh, Bobby Brown shoes. No, thank you. I just think Favre is going to be like watching his Dortmund team really excited me a lot. He tended to play like when he got there, he played like a 4-2-3-1, but then that he would eventually deploy a 3-4-2-1 instead. So it looked to like when he played that 3-4-2-1, it would look to deploy one of the central midfielders as like a pivot between the defense and midfield areas, whilst giving more freedom to the wide players and the forward as well. But I'm just trying to think: is there anyone in that Newcastle squad that could play as that pivot? I mean, Willock maybe if he had to. I mean, our midfield is absolutely shambolic. There's not an awful lot of individual kind of. Well, we don't have a lot of midfielders as a general rule, but we don't have a lot of they're very kind of functional, I suppose. There's not really an awful lot of adaptability in that midfield. That's it, really. Like, what can you do? I mean, I think Willock is the most dynamic of our midfield options, really, and he can be molded into that sort of midfield pivot, sort of like an Axel Witsel was. Not saying that Joe Willock is anything like Axel Witsel, but it's sort of you have to work with what you have, really, because like on the defensive end with that formation that he likes to play, he does like to play a 3 at the back. And then the wing backs would obviously drop in and help the team out of possession. And he would play a deeper defensive line so as to maintain the shape. Then once we won the ball back, it's this kind of slow build up out of the back and patiently wait for opportunities to work the ball forward. That's when you deploy your St. Maximins, your Callum Wilsons. That's when you deploy those lads. But it would take an awful lot of work. That is just so. With that standing I've made. These is who will Newcastle's who should they sign in January, not just should they sign in general. Because keep in mind, Newcastle are still 19th in the table without a win after 7 games as it stands. So there'll be I don't imagine there'll be a massive overhaul in January. I reckon it'll be just kind of steady the ship, get us to the summer, and then from there you kind of spaff your load on whoever you want.
The first name I heard that there was talk about was Mauro Icardi. And I mean, whoever came up with that, I mean, whatever they're on, I'd like some of it, please.
I mean, I think it'd be funny. I mean, it's not like, turmoil is something that just kind of follows Newcastle around, and to have him and his mental misses, I think it would be funny if it was, if it was any other team, I'd find it hilarious, but I'd rather it not be mine.
See, this is right. This is what I mentioned at the start, and I'm really sorry, but it's all right having all this money and going, oh, we've got this money now, we can buy this player, that player, the other player. I'm sorry, but you need to remember you're still Newcastle. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
You aren't that good, and trying to bring, some of the players that some people are banding about, it's just not realistic.
Of course, we need to rebuild. We need to go. I feel like our squad's a lot older than I think it is, especially at the back. So I think we need to bring that average age down quite a lot. So I'm just looking at the squad list about who I would keep personally, and there's not that many. And some of them, Dubravka you keep, even though he is quite error prone, but he's a perfectly serviceable Premier League goalkeeper. Jamal Lascelles I would keep. Joe Willock, purely because you have to, because you've spaffed your load on him in the summer. Callum Wilson, who in general I'm not the biggest fan of, but he's fine. I think he's all right. So he'll score goals, yes, but St. Maximin, of course, you'll keep. Almiron you'll keep, because not only does Almiron, he's not the most technically gifted player, but the fans love him and he works really hard. So I figure, if you want to keep faith with the fans, you keep hold of him. And the last one is Jamal Lewis, who, to be honest, hasn't impressed, but you have to keep him because you've just bought him, a season ago. So, on the subject of recruitment and who we would keep and who we would let go, I have made 3 signings that I would bring in January, providing that Lucien Favre is the man they bring in. So I've built my whole kind of transfer policy around him. So, and you have a couple of names you'd like to mention as well. Maybe some of them will match. We don't know. We haven't looked at each other's signings yet.
I'll let you go, because I have a list, and we can see if any of yours agree with my list.
Okie dokie. Well, I feel like, as we've mentioned, the midfield is sorely lacking and is in desperate need of an upgrade. So my first signing is Dennis Zakaria out of Borussia Mönchengladbach. He's 24, valued by Transfermarkt around 24.3 million. Although his contract is up in the summer, so I feel if you want to get him, you can get him. You could probably get him for around 15 mil, maybe in January. Swiss international, yes.
Yeah, know him well. Should have been sent off at Windsor Park. No, yeah, I mean, watched him play a couple of times against Northern Ireland. He's good in the middle of the park. He's good at what he does.
The thing is, he plays primarily, easy for me to say, I got my new teeth in, as a CDM, but he can play as a central midfielder and he can play at centre back, so that versatility is always very helpful. But he really does have a very good passing range, but he tends to favour playing short passes out of the back, which would work quite well with Favre's kind of tendency to start attacks out of the back.
Yeah.
In a possession sort of heavy style. I feel like, he could work quite nicely in that, and he's just an absolute monster in sitting in front of that back four. He's a strong dribbler, has an ability to play box to box, so that gives him the freedom to not just to bring the ball forward, but he can get back and help out the front. He can get out to help out in front of the back line. Jesus Christ, I can't talk. I haven't had enough caffeine today. But apart from that, he's also rapid as well. So
he's a lot quicker than you would maybe think he was.
Yeah, for a kind of, it's not really a trait you get for a lot of kind of defensive-minded players, is a rapid pace, which is a good thing because he tends to. There are occasions where he'll kind of lose his concentration a bit, and yourself, pace will get you out of will make up for a lot of shortcomings if you can kind of.
Yeah, get you out of ball.
Mönchengladbach aren't playing in Europe this season either, so it's not like he's saying, "Oh, I don't want to go to Newcastle because you aren't playing in Europe." But Mönchengladbach currently aren't in Europe this season either.
No, they're not in Europe either. So yeah,
I figured Dennis Zakaria would be a pretty decent option. Plus, he's only 24 as well, so
yeah,
bring that average age down a bit.
One of my midfield options is, I mean, he's in his 30s now. It'd be more of a sort of a stopgap, a fix for a while. Would have been Ander Herrera.
No, I don't think Ander Herrera would leave PSG. Plus, he seems to be getting played a lot.
Can't believe we ever let him go on a free transfer.
I mean,
you never know.
If PSG would be, well, I mean, PSG apparently are desperate to sell, so to comply with financial fair play. So you never know.
If I can just sort of nip in here, now that you say PSG are sort of desperate to sell, one of my other options, and I've literally wrote it down in these exact words: anyone decent at Barcelona, because you get them for nothing.
I mean, Barca
they need money. You get them for nothing.
Barca are desperate to sell, and La Liga clubs in general have struggled due to the pandemic. But I think anyone that Barca wanted to keep, they have, like the likes of Pedri's contract's up in the summer, but I don't think we're going to get him. He's
very good.
I think he's a generational talent. I think he's that good. They've got Gavi who's there. He'll probably slot into that midfield eventually. It's just Barcelona's just a mess. So, and I don't know. I mean, like I generally don't watch Barcelona because I don't really have that much of an interest in La Liga. So the only time I ever see them is in the Champions League, and they've looked absolutely abysmal in the Champions League. So
I'm sorry, but if you're playing Luke de Jong up front, you've got something bad there.
Hey,
speaking of Newcastle,
we had to play Luke de Jong up front. Oh. The only thing is, as well, though, these clubs will know how much they have, so they'll try it, obviously, and even though they're seen as dead wood to them, they'll try and fleece.
They'll stick the hand, yeah.
But speaking of Spain, we go to the other Clásico giants for my second choice, my second signing at Real Madrid. Now, I have Luka Jovic written down on a 6-month deal. Luka Jovic, I'm pretty sure so did he. He's 23 years old. I would say that with the World Cup coming up next year, he'll be desperate for game time. Because since he signed for Real Madrid in 2019, he has played a total of 832 minutes.
Not even 10 games, really.
No, he did have a loan.
If you want to put it like that.
Yeah, he did have a loan spell this time last January back to Eintracht Frankfurt. So possibility is there that he could go on another loan. But then again, maybe because it was Eintracht where he came from, and maybe that's why he wanted to go. But bloody hell, during his last full season in Frankfurt, scored 27 in 48 games, as well as scoring 4 in 18 during his short loan spell there last season. He can finish with both feet, and he's more than capable of playing as a lone striker or in a 2. So, the versatility is there. He's a strong dribbler, more so than you would think. He's deceptively quick. He's quite easy.
He's another one he's quicker than you'd think.
He's quite bulky and low center of gravity, so it allows him to hold on to the ball more often than not. I feel someone like Luka Jovic, if you can get Luka Jovic and get him firing, I feel like bloody hell. That's quite the and then I'm pretty sure Real Madrid would be more than willing to include an option to buy in that as well.
I actually have a few players down from Real Madrid.
Okay,
there's a few boys that they're just sort of like squad players, as far as I would be concerned. That if he offered them, I'm sure they would want to maybe get. Right, I know he's getting on a bit now, but Gareth Bale's not even got a squad number. Gareth Bale do you a job for 6 months.
I feel though this is like, if you sign Gareth Bale, it's very much kind of going along the lines of the kind of, bringing in the Aaron Ramseys, and I can see Eden Hazard in the Newcastle shirt. You know what I mean? Like, that's the sort of signing I don't want.
There's somebody I never even thought of, actually. I forgot. Again, like Luka Jovic, I forgot he was at Real Madrid.
I just feel like if you're going to start a whole new project, that's not the way to go. I mean, there'll be plenty of teams that will be willing to take Gareth Bale and pay him stupid money to kind of finish his career up, but I don't want that to be us.
Danny Ceballos?
Danny Ceballos, I would absolutely take. Danny Ceballos.
I can't believe Arsenal didn't take him back, or didn't try harder to take him back. Or I know they got Odegaard, but
I feel though if you between the two you take Odegaard ahead of Ceballos.
Yeah, but at the same time, like you say though, Ceballos has quality. Like,
he's very good. I do agree, and he's not going to get any real game time. I mean, there's another option for a loan, because any kind of quality midfielders we can get in, I will happily take.
Asensio, he's not getting played much.
Oh, I don't know about this. It's the same with like Asensio and Isco. I don't know. Maybe 5 years ago, absolutely.
But even like I say, even just like you were saying there, for 6 months loan deal in January, they sort of not a stopgap. I mean, that's been a bit rude about them. Like, they're better than just a stopgap. But you know what I mean.
I don't know why, but I'm getting serious QPR vibes off this. Like, we're going to end up signing a bunch of mercenaries, and then this will all fall to an arse. We'll go into the championship, and then it's just all going to blow up. I just feel like that's in the back of my head. I just feel like this is where this is going to go, which is why I said I can definitely see Eden Hazard in the Newcastle shirt. Any more forwards, just while we're on the subject?
Forwards, let me have a look. I want to say Zapata. Is that your man from Atalanta?
Duvan Zapata, yes. I just watched him play against Brazil in the World Cup qualifiers. He did, well, I say play, he came on for the last 20 minutes. He seems fine, but then Atalanta as a project, I mean, they've got Champions League football. They have a really exciting young
we play them next week.
Pardon?
We play them next week.
Oh, there you go. Then you'll see what he's all about. They have a really exciting squad. I mean, it just seems like a really attractive prospect. So, depends if he just wants to kind of double his, because I assume we're going to be spaffing a whole heap on wages. So
the only other two forwards I have down on my list, well, one of them's a sort of a winger, a wide forward, and David Neres and Andrea Bellotti.
Bellotti's not a bad shout. I actually thought about either him or Berardi. Would kind of
yes, that's the other one I was trying to think of earlier and couldn't remember.
So I feel like Belotti's at Torino, Berardi is at Sassuolo. So there's
I love that name.
Sassuolo. Yeah, but you see, apparently they can't have green kits anymore. This is a rule that's coming into Serie A. I think it's next season. You can't have green kits. So Sassuolo are kind of knackered.
What's that all about?
Apparently, this is. Now, I only found this out the other day. Here's a bit of. We're deviating, but this is a fun fact. I only found this out the other day. Like, apparently, you know the electronic advertising hoardings around the pitch?
Yeah.
Apparently, they're green screen now, right? So they could put on specific adverts for specific markets. So, like, say if you're watching the game in the UK, it could be like for, I don't know, British firms. I don't know. Who's a British firm? William Hill, right? William Hill, for example, right? That's a betting thing that's here.
Yeah. Or other bookmakers are available.
Yes. But then if you're watching that game in Germany, they might have, like, I don't know, Volkswagen instead. And apparently if you had a green kit on, this would interfere with that. So apparently this is the reason why.
Right.
So there you go.
I thought it was going to be something stupid that they couldn't see them. They get blended in with a pitch or something.
I mean, as a reason, that is pretty stupid, though, because, I mean, this is a team that's worn green for, I assume, as long as they've been around. So I feel like 3 or 4 years ago, Belotti was, like, linked with everybody, and they've really kind of fallen off the radar recently. I can't honestly tell you how, like, what his kind of scoring, what his numbers are like, because, again, I'm not following Torino every week. But I imagine they're probably better than anything that we have currently.
I think he's still getting played for the national team, and
so that's midfield and forwards discussed in varying degrees of insight, because we're not yeah.
Can you guess what we're going to cover next?
That's right, goalkeepers. No, I have a defender. I have one centre back, because I feel like centre back is a position we desperately need to upgrade. And it's a bit of a rogue shout, but I feel it might be doable, because it's another one whose contract is up at the end of the season. Now, he has come back from knee surgery, where he missed 23 games last season, which is quite concerning, but
that's a few.
That's quite a few. But he has worked with Lucien Favre before at Borussia Dortmund, funnily enough, so he'll be able to slip seamlessly into that style of play. And he does prefer to play on the left side of a back three. And that is Dan Axel Zagadou.
I just like his name.
Zagadou.
Yeah.
I hope that's actually
come on.
I hope that's actually a chant, because the one I made up for Mohamed El Neni didn't catch on, and I was furious because I thought that was an amazing chant, and it's the greatest thing I've ever come up with. He's from Egypt. He's called El Neni. He's from Egypt. He's called El Neni. Come on, that's good, I thought, but apparently not. I mean, it was good whenever that was, popular for like 3 minutes. But
I still think for kids and grown-ups loving So the Happy World of Aribo.
So yeah, Dan Axel Zagadou.
Somebody I know a terrible pile about, to be honest.
He's bloody massive, so he is. He's 6'3", and he's a big lad. But he's very mobile when he's not, having his knee put back together again. 23. It feels like he's been around for. He's 22. Sorry, it feels like he's been around for bloody ages. He's valued at 12.6 million by Transfermarkt, but again, his contract's up at the end of the season, so there's and he's just come back from knee surgery, and so if he doesn't sign a new deal, I feel that Dan Axel Zagadou could well be. I don't know why I'm talking like this. Like it's a big reveal. You already know who it is. Zagadou, because I'm pretty sure Shar's contract is up this season, so it'll be a man light at centre half. There's definitely someone else. I can't remember, but I think there's another centre half, or at least another defender whose contract's up. So we desperately need. Well, it needs upgrading anyway. But if we're going to be losing people in that position, we're going to need reinforcements anyway. And I feel like Dan Axel Zagadou would be very, very, very useful, especially as well since he's played under Favre before, so he knows that system like the back of his hand.
You're stuffed if he doesn't take over. Your whole plan's down. Your whole plan for us down the drain.
Oh, we're gonna bloody bring in Frank Lampard, and we're gonna get Ruben Loftus-Cheek in for 35 million quid, aren't we?
And Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Oh, get him on loan. If they want to loan us in for 6 months, because apparently they're not going to sell him. So if they want to loan us in for 6 months, that would be absolutely bloody super. Or Hakeem Ziyech, give us him.
Going back to the old defending.
Yes, who do you have for me? You're my director of football now. Tilo Kehrer. God, I feel like his stock's dropped quite a lot recently. I mean, I like him. I think he's good.
Perfect for you. Perfect for you.
Oh yeah, there you
go. Yeah, he doesn't. I think he's brilliant.
I think
he's one of those what you would call a football manager boy.
He doesn't. I don't know if he's even really. I don't know. Is he getting played? I don't know. Again,
I don't think so.
I don't care about PSG because it's no fun.
I would assume it's Presnel Kimpembe and Sergio Ramos, or Sergio Ramos and
who else plays at the
Marquinhos. Is he a centre half or?
I think they're playing. Yeah, I think they're playing him as centre half. Yeah, so he's down the pecking order, is what we're saying.
It's Sergio Ramos +1 anyway.
Yeah,
I like Tilo Kehrer, I really do.
Another young lad.
He's not that old, and you could probably get him for, I wouldn't say cheap. Or my other option was Jonathan Tah from Leverkusen.
No, that would be a hell of a signing. It would be very difficult though, I think, because Leverkusen are in the Europa League. He says, thinking that he might be wrong, that it might be the Conference League. They're in Europe anyway.
They're in Europe. They're in the European competition.
And we're not going to get that at any point this season. So I feel like anyone who's playing in Europe already will be more difficult to get out, unless they are like a Tilo Kehrer, who is so far down the pecking order that they'd be willing to kind of move on. At least now. Maybe in 2 or 3 seasons' time that won't be the case, but as for the right now, I feel like that's just the way the state of affairs currently. We're coming to the end of this podcast now, so I've picked 3. My 3 being Dennis Zakaria, Dan Axel Zagadou, and Luka Jovic on loan. Which we can only sign 3 of yours. Which 3?
We'll sign 3. Right, well, I'll go for Belotti, Tilo Kehrer, and I'll go Dani Ceballos.
I don't see anything wrong with any of those. So there we go. Those are our picks for who we would, pick, I guess, to bring in January. To some of the picks to try and save Newcastle's season and to kind of kick this project on a wee bit. Let us know yours in the comment section down below. That's what it's for. And let us know about what you feel about the takeover and all that other stuff. And anything else you just want to say. If you want to say that we're awful, you can say that. That's perfectly fine. We probably agree with you. So Keith, where can people find you on the internet if they wish to do so?
If they wish to do so, I'm on the Twitter, and I'm kind of hoping you're going to put it down here somewhere.
Because you forgot your own Twitter handle.
Because I forgot it, yeah.
You can find me on the Twitter as well. It's down there somewhere, I think. If you want loads of lefty liberalist propaganda, which is how my Twitter feed was described the other day, it's just that and just pictures of cats. I don't know what the issue is.
Yeah, mine's just mainly wrestling and comedy. That's it.
There you go. Something for everyone. Yeah, excellent. So Keith is currently on his way to watch the Northern Ireland game against Bulgaria. What's the score, Keith, currently? And what minute are we in?
Currently 0-0, but there is a VAR goal check going on for to see if we've scored.
Excellent. We would stick around for it. Shall we let's stick around for it and see if it's actually
Let's stick around for it. Come on, VAR.
Who scored, apparently?
I'm not sure who it was from us that put the ball in the net, because I was being a good podcaster and I'm looking at the screen and not watching my phone.
I appreciate
VAR onside. Oh, it's just flashed up VAR onside. Have we scored?
Have we done a football?
We may have done a football.
Good grief.
It might be Paddy McNair.
Good grief. Right, well, there you go. That just proves anything's possible.
He comes from Ballyclare.
You've been to Ballyclare?
Yes. Oh, no, actually, sorry, tell a lie. Sorry, for Paddy. It's not his goal. It's partner Connor Washington's goal. That's the first thing Connor Washington's done in about years.
Right, this truly is a day for miracles. Go and get the lottery done. Go do it now. And whilst we're doing that, it's all so you can go and do that. We will say bye. Bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Cheery bye bye.
If you do win that lottery, I'd like a quid, please.